Hello students, welcome to Molecular Biology Part 12. In previous video, we are discussed about transcription unit. In this video, we will discuss about transcription in prokaryotes or bacteria. The process of transcription can be divided into three stages. They are initiation, elongation, termination are the three stages in the transcription process. The DNA dependent RNA polymerase, DNA dependent RNA polymerase of prokaryotes catalyzes all three processes of initiation, elongation, and termination. So whatever the stages in this process of transcription, it is catalyzed by an enzyme. All these three stages are catalyzed by an enzyme, DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme in prokaryotes. So DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme of prokaryotes catalyzes synthesis of all types of RNA. All types means that is mRNA, mRNA, tRNA, rRNA. These are the major types. All these three RNAs are catalyzed by DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme only. There is no other enzymes. Types of RNA. The types of RNA we are already discussed during RNA world concept. So again, just a few points about these types of RNA. So the first one, mRNA. So mRNA provides the template containing genetic code. It provides the template containing genetic code. It carries the coded information for protein synthesis from DNA. From DNA, it carries coded information for protein synthesis. And second type, tRNA, transverse RNA, transports the active amino acids and reads the genetic code. So whatever the code brought by mRNA brings the coded information from DNA. So from DNA, mRNA brings that code. And this coded information read by tRNA and transports the active amino acids to the ribosomes to synthesize the polypeptide chain. Next, third category, third type, that is ribosomal RNA. It forms the structure of ribosomes and it play a catalytic role during translation. So it form catalytic role means it acts as an enzyme. So that means this RNA play a key role during peptide bond formation. Peptide bond formation. Play key role during peptide bond formation in protein synthesis. The tRNA and rRNA are non-coding RNAs. They are non-coding RNAs. They are act according to the coding strand, that is mRNA. So while mRNA is the coding strand, this mRNA having coding which is complementary to the DNA. So coding strand is mRNA. Based on the coding of this mRNA, the tRNA as well as ribosomal RNA work. Several other non-coding RNAs apart from tRNA and rRNA are also non-coding RNAs. Apart from these two, other non-coding RNAs play a role in the regulation of the gene expression and the process of newly transcribed RNA molecules. So let's see what are the other types of non-coding RNAs. So that is one is a small interfering RNA. So it is a short form. It is called siRNA. Si means small interfering RNA. Its function is sequence specific inactivation of the mRNA. And another one is microRNA. In short form, it is miRNA. It is also inactivation of sequence specific mRNA. Large intergenic non-coding RNA, link RNA. Large intergenic non-coding RNA, short form link RNA, it functions as transcriptional control. So it controls the transcription process, involves in the control. And small nuclear RNA, snRNA. So it is helpful for RNA splicing. Next, a small nucleolar RNA, nucleolar RNA. So the short form is snRNA. So modification of mRNA, tRNA and snRNA is done by this small nucleolar RNA. So these all five types are non-coding RNAs. They do not have any coding. The complete RNA polymerase molecule. The complete RNA polymerase molecule. That means DNA dependent RNA polymerase molecule. That is an enzyme. RNA polymerase molecule. It is called as a complete enzyme is called as the holoenzyme. In Escherichia coli has a composition of 5 polypeptides. 5 polypeptides are composed to form a complete RNA polymerase enzyme that is called as the holoenzyme. And that 5 polypeptides are named as a sigma, alpha, alpha beta, beta and rho are the names of that 5 polypeptides. Now let's see that functions of that polypeptides present in the RNA polymerase. So first polypeptide, that is a sigma. So it recognizes the promoter region. Already we studied during transcriptional unit. Transcriptional unit consists the promoter, structural gene and terminator or the three parts it consists. So promoter, it is the initial site for the transcription, and structural genes and terminator or the three parts. So now this sigma polypeptide is helpful to recognize, to identify that promoter region. Now it helps in attachment of RNA polymerase enzyme and initiates the RNA synthesis. Hence it is called as the initiation factor, or sigma is called as the initiation factor. Why? It recognizes the promoter region and helpful to attach this enzyme to that promoter region and initiate the RNA synthesis. Next, beta and alpha beta polypeptide, both two polypeptides, beta and alpha beta. These two, they take part in the transcription. That means that copying of coding and all, it is take part by this beta and alpha beta. Now, alpha polypeptide, it protects the transcription unit. Next row, it needed for termination. Hence, it is known as the termination factor. So, row factor is needed for termination last. So, the structural part, it is controlled by structural gene part. It is involvement by beta and alpha beta, and that process is protected by alpha. So these three polypeptides involved in the process of structural gene, and sigma identify this promoter, and another one is rho. Rho, it is helpful to termination of that transcription process. Now, the process of transcription in prokaryotes. So already we discussed the process of transcription takes place in three stages. In that, the first one is the initiation. So there are three steps in RNA chain initiation. Three steps. Let's see what. First step one, recognition and binding of RNA polymerase to the promoter region in DNA by sigma subunit of RNA polymerase. That is the first step. Recognition and binding of RNA polymerase. Just now we are studying in the table. Sigma polypeptide present in RNA polymerase is helpful to identify or recognize the promoter region, and it is also helpful to attach this RNA polymerase to the promoter region. That is first step. And how it will identify that promoter region, that we need to know how it is identified. First we need to know that. So now the two short sequences are conserved in the promoters, but they are not identical. Promoter region having two short sequences, but these two short sequences are not identical. These sequences are called as 10 sequences and 35 sequences. That means one short sequence with 10 base pairs and another with 35. Now, the 10 sequence in the non-template strand is TA, TA, AT, like that it will continue. That's why the 10 sequence in the non-template strand is called as the Tata box, and 35 sequence is called as is a T, T, G, A, C, A, like that it will continue. 35 sequence. Generally it is called as a minus 10 as well as minus 35, because the initiation point of transcription is mentioned with +1. Below that sequences are mentioned as minus. So minus 10 at that region, this short segment or short sequence are having TATA Tata box, and another short sequence, that is minus 35, it has TT, GA, CA sequences. So these sequences are essential to identify the promoter region. So we are already discussed during the transcription unit the coding and template strands are defined based on the promoter. Just now we said that -10 sequence and -35 sequence, it is present on the non-template strand, that means coding strand. Coding strand does not involved in the transcription. Coding strand does not involved in the transcription. The mRNA or transcription is occurred based on the template strand. So the coding present on this template strand is copied onto the mRNA, not to this coding strand. So that's why coding strand is a non-template. That means it is not involved in the transcription, non-template. So on this coding strand, there are two short sequences, that is -10 sequence and -35 sequence. Why they are considered as -35, -10? Because the site of transcription, it is mentioned with +1. Below that sequences, that means upstream region only. This is upstream, and towards this is downstream. So that sequences are called mentioned with minus. Okay, so now from here the transcription is continued towards this direction, not this direction. So that's why the presence of this TATAAT, these sequence are essential to identify. It is very near to the transcription starting site. So these sequence are essential. Tata box is essential to form a promoter or maybe initiation of that transcription. So Tata box. So TA sequences are essential. Remember why these are a suitable places. Why these are suitable places. So already two dots are mentioned here. Two dots. Two dots. And come to in this 35 -35 sequence. That is between G and C. Three dots are there. That is three bonds. In Tata box, all are having TA, AT or TA, AT, AT, TA. These sequences are having double bond. It is easy to break double bond when compared to the triple bond. So that's why they choose this one to unwind the DNA strand. So in first step of initiation, they recognize the a site for the initiation of this transcription or maybe promoter, and it is helpful to attach that RNA polymerase to that promoter region, and the transcription site is identified based on the Tata box, that is a -10 sequences upstream to the transcriptional site, as well as -35 sequence. Based on that, the transcription site is identified and promoter is start from there. Now the second step in the initiation is unwinding of two strands of DNA. So that unwinding is also done by the RNA polymerase. Don't apply the replication here. So unwinding during transcription in prokaryotes done by RNA polymerase. So this unwinding is essential to synthesize the new strand, new RNA chain. Third step, formation of phosphodiester bonds between the first few ribonucleotides in the nascent RNA chain. That means pure RNA chain. So you may studied in chemistry. This is oxygen molecule. Nascent oxygen means zero. It is oxygen molecule. It is nascent, a pure. Similarly, nascent RNA chain, a pure RNA chain, To form this, it requires the formation of phosphodiester bonds between the first few ribonucleotides. RNA having ribonucleotides, DNA having deoxyribonucleotides. So these are the three steps in the initiation of transcription. So let's see, this is the process. Here the green strand, it is the RNA. And now template strand is red color, that is 3 to 5 direction. That is the template strand. On that 5 to 3 direction, the RNA synthesis is. So the direction of polymerization, the RNA synthesis, 3 to 5. Okay, so now unwinding during initiation, what happens? Unwinding is takes place and attachment of that RNA polymerase. This total yellow color RNA polymerase attachment is done during the initiation only. And the second stage in the transcription in prokaryotes is elongation. So that means initiation is started. In the next step, that RNA chain should be elongated, become lengthy. So the RNA polymerase molecule contains both DNA unwinding and DNA rewinding activities. The RNA polymerase molecule contains both activities. That means first it is unwinding the DNA to synthesize new RNA, and simultaneously it is rewind that unwinding DNA. Now it continuously unwinds the DNA double helix ahead of the polymerization site and then rewinds the complementary DNA strands behind the polymerization site. It all move along with the double helix. As RNA polymerase moves along with the DNA molecule, the nascent RNA chain is displaced from the DNA template strand. Polymerase moves along with DNA molecule. The nascent pure RNA chain is displaced from the template DNA strand. Let's see that explanation given in previous slide. So what we said, RNA polymerase. So this RNA polymerase is responsible for DNA unwinding. So unwinding, so the polymerization, the unwinding, it is occurred in this direction. So polymerization side, this towards this region, it is unwinds. And then the polymerization of RNA, it continues this side. And the same RNA polymerase also acts as DNA. It is helpful for DNA rewinding. Rewinding. So the polymerization, that means elongation of chain is done towards this region by unwinding the DNA. So when it is polymerized and RNA, nascent RNA is forms, and then another end, this RNA polymerase rewinds the DNA double helix based on this. So when this is continuing, the nascent RNA is displaced from the template strand and nascent RNA will comes out into the cytoplasm. Remember it. In prokaryotes, nuclear membrane is absent. Nuclear membrane is absent. That means, hence, the transcription is takes place in cytoplasm. takes place in cell cytoplasm, not in nucleus, because nucleus is absent. Simply we can say there is no proper structure of nucleus in the prokaryotes. So that's why the transcription is takes place in cytoplasm. So when the polymerized RNA, the nascent RNA or pure RNA is displaced from the coding strand, or sorry, template strand. Coding strand does not involve in the transcription process. Template strand displaced from template strand, and it moves towards the ribosomes to transfer that code to synthesize the protein. Then the third stage in the transcription is termination. The termination of RNA chains occurs when the RNA polymerase comes across the termination signal, which is a nucleotide sequence. Terminational signal is a nucleotide sequence that specifies RNA chain termination. At this point, the transcription complex dissociates, releasing the nascent RNA molecule completely into the cytoplasm. In Escherichia coli, there are two types of transcription terminators. They are row dependent termination and second one, row independent termination, are the two types of transcription terminators. So one is row dependent and another termination is row independent termination. So now row dependent termination. In this type, termination takes place only in presence of row factor or termination factor. Takes place only in presence of row. And in second type, row independent termination. In this type, termination takes place without involvement of row factor. Then it is called as the row independent termination. The region of the signal strand RNA, the regions of single, not signal, single stranded RNA, short form sRNA, single stranded RNA, can a base pair and form hairpin like structure. The regions of single strand RNA form as a hairpin structure. These hairpin structures retard the movement of RNA polymerase molecule along the DNA, and this causes a chain extension or termination. So this single strand RNA, it form as a hairpin like this. It form as a hairpin. So this hairpin structure retard stops the movement of that RNA polymerase enzyme, and this leads to the termination of the transcription. Clear? So this is the site for the terminator. So RNA polymerase. So row binding site. As a result, row factor is involving. That's why this is a type of row dependent termination. Okay. So when it moves, there is a DNA that codes for row binding site. So when it is identified, the transcription is stops. The transcription process is stopped. Okay. So in that it is considered as the that it is considered as row dependent. Suppose there is a RNA, a single stranded, it turns as a hairpin shape. It turns as hairpin shape, and then it does not allow to move that RNA polymerase. As a result, it is terminated. So termination is done by two ways: row dependent, row independent. Row dependent, it is a coding for that binding site. Row binding site. When the RNA polymerase identify that row factor, binding factors, that will be end or stop point for the transcription. The process of transcription and translation. Transcription, that means copying of DNA onto the mRNA, and translation, that is transferring the coding from an mRNA to the tRNA to synthesize polypeptide chains in proteins, often occurs simultaneously in prokaryotes. Simultaneously it occurs because both transcription and translation takes place in the cytoplasm, because prokaryotes do not have nucleus. So both the processes are takes place in cytoplasm. Whereas in eukaryotes, nucleus is present. That means transcription in eukaryotes, transcription transcription it takes place in nucleus. Transcription takes place in nucleus, and translation translation in cytoplasm. Translation in cytoplasm. The primary mRNA transcripts are translated without further modification, and protein synthesis usually begins before transcription is complete, and hence these two processes can be coupled together. So the primary mRNA transcript, whatever the mRNA is formed primarily, directly translated without any modifications, because because already we discussed prokaryotes having polycistronic cistronic gene. So this polycistronic gene having a continuous coding sequences. So a continuous coding sequences are present in polycistronic. So that's why there is no need to undergo any modifications in the mRNA. But whereas in eukaryotes having monocistronic gene, monocistronic gene, and this monocistronic gene having two regions. One is coding and non-coding regions. These coding regions are called as the exons. Last video we are given this. and non-coding regions are called as the introns. So now in eukaryotes, this primary mRNA transcript, it is called as hnRNA. First it form as hnRNA, heterogeneous nuclear RNA. This heterogeneous nuclear RNA having this coding as well as non-coding regions. So now this hnRNA undergo further modifications and these non-coding regions are removed and form as a mRNA. That is a process in the eukaryotes transcription. Okay, we will discuss in the next video about the transcription in eukaryotes. So let's see the entire process of this transcription in prokaryotes. So that is in prokaryotes transcription in prokaryotes as well as in eukaryotes. The basic stages are common. That is initiation common in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Elongation is common and termination is common. These three stages are common in prokaryotes as well as in eukaryotes. But in eukaryotes, the transcription process is some more complex than in prokaryotes. So during initiation, sigma factor play a major role to recognize that promoter region, and that promoter region having TA sequences more to recognize that we will call Tata box. And elongation, this elongation is required for unwinding as well as rewinding. Both are done by this RNA polymerase enzyme only. And termination requires the rho factor. So rho factor, it leads to the termination of this transcription process. If it is depends on the rho factor, then it is called as the rho dependent termination. And if it is terminate without involvement of rho factor, then it is called as the rho independent termination. So in that rho independent termination process, the RNA, single stranded RNA is formed as a hairpin structure. That hairpin structure prevent the movement of RNA polymerase, then it is terminated. Is it clear? So same stages we will discuss in the eukaryotes in the next video, but it is somewhat complicated when compared to the prokaryotes.